Good morning. Today I wanted to talk a little bit more about, of course, this beautiful book, Dr. Wayne Dyer, Erroneous Zones. Escape to negative thinking and take control of your life. Again, I really recommend this book. First, I wanted to start with a quote from that I really like here, and it's about love. So it's a way of seeing love. The ability and willingness to allow those that you care about to be what they choose to be for themselves without insistence that they satisfy you. So what this quote is saying is love is acceptance, and we need to, if we love somebody, we need to let them be what they want to be, what they choose to be, and love them just for what they are without needing to change them. And that is just one quote that I wanted to share from there. Today I want to talk about approval seeking, which is also another chapter cover on this book. It's since we are young, we are taught in school and by our parents that we need the approval seeking behavior. Can I wear this? Should I eat this? Should I not eat this? You have to approval seeking for everything. And then we grow up with that mentality that we need the approvals of everybody else. And this is living in external reality. So we start being external. Instead of being our own selves, our own uniqueness, we start being external and just living to other people's expectations. Don't get me wrong. I mean, there is law, but law is not right versus wrong. The law is just saying what's legal and what's not, right? There is no right, there's no wrong. Who in the world said that there's like this is right or this is wrong, right? It's all left to perception. Because you do something different than I do doesn't mean that your way of doing it is a wrong way, or my way is the right way, or my way is the wrong way. And that's where a lot of arguments come between families and couples, that somebody has to be right and somebody has to be wrong. And you often hear, well, why can you admit you're wrong, or why can you admit, like I'm always right or you're always right. And that's where we're going wrong about it, which there's no wrong or right, but you know what I mean. We need to be acceptant and love each other for each other's uniqueness. And there's no right or wrong. There's just different perceptions, different ways of seeing things. You can do things one way, I can do things another. And no way is going to be the right or the wrong way. It's just whatever feels right for you at that time. Whatever makes the most sense to you, do. Do whatever makes the most sense to you. And it touches, I'm also here reading the book a little bit. And it tells you here, like, the need for approval of another person is bad enough. But the real trouble comes with the need for the approval of everybody that you interact with. If you carry around such a need, then you are bound for a great deal of misery and frustration in your life. Moreover, you will be incorporating a wishy-washy, non-person self-image that will result in the kind of self-rejection. So this is just saying that if you're trying to get everybody's approval, you might find yourself being that person that you believe one thing, and then when somebody else is talking about negative about that thing or whatever, then you change your view, and then out of the sudden your view changed, and then you believe in what they believe. This is being external and just changing yourself so that others could like you, and that's approval seeking. And that is a very big erroneous zones that we all have, that we need to work on. So let me just touch, I'm trying to find another page that I lost here. Well, pretty much, instead of also with that approval seeking, it also comes blaming others for how you feel. And I have talked about this before in other videos. It's just putting your emotions and everything on everybody else but yourself. A really good example that I can never say, Dr. Wayne said on this book, he had a patient that was really obese, and her excuse for it was, I always been this way. My mom used to force feed me. My husband hates me. My children mistreat me. Everybody mistreats me. So they cause me to overeat, so that's why I overeat. So if in her life everything was about everybody else, and she didn't take any ownership of what she was doing, she was making the wrong choices, she was eating more, and that's why she was the way she was. And by therapy, then she realized that it was all her own fault. It was herself. She was the one that that was eating, that was doing these habits. It was nobody else pushing her or forcing her to do this. So, I mean, that's just a really good example of how we blame other people. You know, I'm feeling sad because you're treating me wrong. I'm feeling sad because my family doesn't like me. And that's just putting your happiness on external sources. And that you're never going to be completely happy if your happiness is built of external sources. Happiness has to come from within. So little practices to start is, instead of saying, you know, I love him because he's good to me, a good practice to start is, I choose to love him and I feel good with it, you know. Just changing the way we think or thought process, it is a little bit difficult, but it's good to start changing the thought process so that we don't blame other people for how we are feeling. Like I said in a previous video, we control our own thoughts, or at least we should be controlling our thoughts. And our emotions come from our thoughts. So if we are controlling our own thoughts, we can choose to not feel sad. If there could be a situation that we dislike, however, we choose how we react to it. We need to work on controlling our thoughts, and the best way to do that is whenever we see this erroneous thought coming, a thought of depression, a thought of confusion or something, replace it with another one. Like, tell yourself, why am I thinking this? Is this helping me anything? Is it helping me grow? Is it going to do anything for me? And the answer is probably going to be no. And then, why am I choosing to feel depressed? Why am I choosing to feel sad, you know? Get out there, be active. I mean, stop complaining and then get to action. Start doing more. We hear a lot of complaining and that goes nowhere. Instead of wasting that time complaining, take that time to get into action and do something about the things that you don't like in your life. Always remember to spread that love and don't place blame on others for your own actions. Your emotions and everything that happens in your life are all a conclusion of all the actions that you have chosen to take up to this point. If you want a different conclusion, then perhaps you need to look deeper inside you and take different actions. But nobody else is responsible for the way you're feeling. Nobody else is responsible for the life you're having right now. We could have had a rough childhood, rough growing up, rough everything, but we cannot blame the way we are right now because of our childhood or the way we were treated. We create our own reality, and we can choose our past to grow from, or we can stay stuck there and just live in the past and blame everything on the past and never grow from it because that's the way we are. Are you? Are you really like that? I don't think so. I think you can change that. Why don't we start with positive thinking, positive attitude? Attitude is everything. And stop just staying stuck in the past. Think that you don't have to be like that anymore. You don't have to be depressed. You're choosing to be depressed until now, but you can say, you know what, up until now, I've chosen to stay in this state of mind, but today I'm making a change. I'm doing different. I'm doing something good for myself. Go out there, get out in nature. Just be nice to yourself. Treat yourself. You are worth it. You are awesome. Value yourself and love yourself. Because if you want to love others, first you have to love yourself. Otherwise, how can you love others? The love has to come from within. Peace has to come from within. Just think about it, guys. Spread that love, be mindful, and be careful with your words. Thank you for watching. You guys have a good day.